Hello and welcome to the PR Podcast. I'm the host and the only host here. PR, or you know me more as Evan. And I'm wanting to talk about something that has changed my life in a big way and has helped me through so much when I was lonely and single. And it still does when I don't have anyone to go to, and that is anime. A Japanese animation style originating from, Japan. The absolute best place on earth. Anyways, enough intro talk. Let's get into it and go John Green mode. But first, our sponsor of the podcast, Mustache. Muse is a rhythm-based game where you can go through and play different levels by tapping and the indications, which are perfectly synced with the music and it has. If you're wanting some fun when you're bored and a very good satisfaction, download Mustache. It's just $3, which is cheap for a game with infinite fun and satisfying sync for days on days. Anyways, back to the podcast. I never saw it back in 7th grade when I started watching anime. But before that, I used to hate it with a passion. I used to think it was the worst thing ever made, and the most cringy thing to ever be created. But in September of 2017, a game called Doki Doki Literature Club, or for short, DDLC, came out. And I gave it a chance by watching Jacksepticeye play it. And I was actually really interested in it. And got really into it. And watched all of Jack's videos on it. And fell in love with it. Thus, the start of my love to anime. But I didn't fully watch whole series until 7th grade, starting with Blindes and a few others like ReZero and Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. But let's talk about just two of them. Blindes and my personal favorite, Darling in Franxx. Blindes is about a girl who's looking for a job and ends up at a cafe. Now, I'm not going to say all about it in case you want to watch it for yourself, but I'll give you some info about it. Every one of the workers has a different personality. The main character is sadistic and tries to always be nice and caring, but it always looks like a traumatizing serial killer. One is always hyper, one is a strict and basically only normal employee, one is a not safe for work magazine artist, one is stern, one is the manager, nothing else to say, and my favorite is a trap, which is a guy who dresses up as a girl but doesn't consider himself one. And of course, a dog. Now, Blindes has a special place in my heart because it was the first anime I got into, and it got me to get into more and more. And I just recently rewatched the entire thing in one night. Now let's talk about the best one ever. In my personal opinion, of course, Darling in Franxx. Again, not going to go into too much info in case you want to watch it for yourselves, but I'll give some info so you know what it is. Darling is about a group of teens who aren't living on normal Earth because of a new species taking over, killing a whole lot of people. But those kids are the ones who have to fight the alien types of beings and keep everyone safe. They are called the Parasites. They fight the creatures with a giant robot, but they need to have a partner they love to control it. Sounds like Pacific Rim, but more romancy. One person can't control Franxx. Yes, that's what they're called, but the main character does not have anyone he loves, so he can't control one at all. It's like you take a stormtrooper, have him drive a giant gun. I mean, it's just going to be god-awful. The aim is going to be absolute garbo. But the second main character comes in and is the lover of the main character. But things do happen, I'm not going to say because they'll spoil basically all of it. So, like I said, not too much information. But for the ones wanting to watch it, it is beautiful, funny, and sad. Thus the reason it's my favorite. Now, I could go on for hours and hours talking about it, but I sadly can't. But I will say that it has changed my life for the better in a few different ways. Who knew those giant beady-eyed characters would have such a huge impact on someone's life, especially mine? The person who used to hate it to death now loves it to death. I even ended up joining the anime club at school, and even have some anime products and posters in my room. Even my face mask is anime themed. I'm sorry to end the podcast so abruptly, but I have to end this podcast. Thank you for joining the PR Podcast. I'm your host and only host, PR, or better known as Evan. And of course, I give anime a 10 out of 10 stars.